Hey coin collectors, Dan the Collecting Man here. We've got the next edition of the Tooth Fairy $2 coloured coin. So this is the sixth one in the series. A series that really kind of went off with a bang because it kind of got released through COVID. And the very first edition was something that was very, very low minted, as we can see here, the 2021. So it's cool to see the next one. I don't know, I think the popularity of this kind of series is definitely dropping off. I don't think people are as interested in them as in the past. I think it's particularly to go with this design. I think people preferred the older design compared to the current design that we have here. So it'll be interesting to see. We obviously had three with the first design, which was really, really cool. I really like this kind of Tooth Fairy design that came up. So this is the 2020 edition. Unfortunately, I got a lower score compared to what I would have liked. This one does hold a bit of value. And then obviously now I've had these three more kind of cartoony kind of designs. So they look pretty cool, but it's kind of odd how it's got the flower on top of the actual head of the Tooth Fairy, so you can't see what it looks like. I think that's actually designed so the kids don't know what the Tooth Fairy looks like. It's there's a reason for that, but personally for me, I do prefer the, let's call it type 1, the original designs compared to the newer design. So it'll be interesting to see if they're in from 2026, if there's a new design and every 3 years they change it, or is this going to be the consistent design that they can have? Because they've changed the cards in each year very, very slightly. It's more about the colouring. These ones have got different kind of animals brought into it with a little bit of colouring there, but there's definitely not as much. So I'm going to go through a bit about the mintages of each year, just so you get a bit of an understanding where the mintages sit as well. Like I said, I have a feeling this one will be not as collectible, but you never know unless they do a lower mintage on these. It'll be something that would be really good to have in actual dentists. That's something that I think there's a bit of a miss there as well for dentists to try and sell these. So they retail now around $20. It is marked as unlimited, so be interesting to see the collectability of it and if people do take it up. So let's go through each year and I'll go through the mintage numbers and the collectability of it. So obviously the first one here is 2020. It was one of those ones that only a few people ended up buying it initially because I think people were like, who cares about a Tooth Fairy coin? It's more for kids than adults, and it's not something that's going to be something that people want to collect. And with an initial unlimited mintage, but like I said, this is when kind of COVID hit and production numbers kind of got hit and they didn't produce as many coins in that year. So the total mintage of this was only 12,000. And also when it's the first coin of a series, they are more collectible. People always do try to go back and get the first one in a series, so that makes it a lot more collectible. So if you get one just in a card like this with the coin, you're looking at around $200. So not bad, and I think they're roughly a $15 or so dollars initially back in the day. So that's not bad return on investment for $200 to have that. Having them graded, if this was an MS68, you're looking around $900. So I think for this one here at a 66, I'm probably lucky to still get $200 for that one. I don't know if it would add much value, but definitely having the first one in this series is the way to go. The next one here in 2021, we had a mintage of 30,000. So big difference from 12,000, as you can see here. 30,000 with still Queen Elizabeth on there. And like I said, that's my favorite design. Then the third one, 2022, we ended up with a total mintage of 28,260. So I had to look in 2 annual reports for this one because I split it over 2 annual reports. But these ones, you're probably looking at around $20 to $30 because of the collectability. You often see people selling them as a pair or a set to get all three. And they also came in kits, which I'll show you in a second. Then we had, this was the first of the new designs in 2023. This is the highest minted one so far, so you're not going to be getting much return in this one, but this does have a mintage of 31,170. This was also the last one with Queen Elizabeth on there as well within the obverse, but that doesn't add any more collectability to it. And then we've got the first one with King Charles in 2024, and you're looking, this one, when I got it, unfortunately had a mark on it. You're looking at around 25,000, so the numbers are dropping off a little bit. I think there was obviously a bit of an issue and lack of production due to having to change effigies on coin. So some coin series definitely got a smaller reduced number, and obviously we don't know what the mintage on this one is, but I'd say it'd be around the 25 to 30,000, depending on the uptake of last year's one, and if people are interested in having the ones with King Charles on the obverse, and if it's something that they want for kids. So I remember when my daughter lost her first tooth, and I was sending pictures to my wife. I was like, oh, we've got a really cool coin that I've been collecting that we can give to her tonight as part of the Tooth Fairy, and that will be pretty unique to get that special coin. And then I Google searched it to find a photo to try and show her what it was, and that's when I saw the prices of how much they were going up. So up until then, I wasn't something that I was really looking into. I knew I had them, and I just had them sitting aside, but all of a sudden I found out that the market on this was extremely hot, especially for the 2020 edition and some of those subsequent ones. Like I said, the market has definitely calmed down a lot on these, and these prices are slowly dropping over time, as I think coin collecting as a whole is currently taking a little bit of hit with cost of living. People are trying to move on some of their collections to try and bring some coin value back into the family. So you'll see a lot more of these on the market. So I would not buy any of the new ones in bulk, because they're not the first of the series and they're not that collectible. So unless you've got the 2020 ones, the other ones I don't think are going to give you much value return. I think even $20 for a coin is already pretty steep, given they're not colored or anything else. It will be interesting if they ever do a colored version or other kind of versions that would be kind of unique to change it up. But I'm really hoping that from 2026 we see a new kind of image come out. That would be absolutely something that I feel like they need to do to add that. So let me know what you think. We also have these little sets that come with it. So these are like, I think this is absolutely fantastic idea, a Tooth Fairy kit that you can get here. So I've currently got these for sale on my eBay channel. As you can see, it's got a little mirror, got this little pop-up thing with the Tooth Fairy, a little note from the Tooth Fairy itself, and a pull-out drawer. And as we can see here, we've got a little card where you can put your teeth information, a bamboo toothbrush, a pen, and then we've also got the coin inside here as well. So you've got the coin in here, and we can have a look at this, which is pretty cool. So it's a little card chart where you can put your teeth information, which ones have come out or not. So every year these change up. So this is from last year. As you can see, it's the same coloring of the card itself. They're not collectible, so unless you've got the 2020 edition, the other subsequent years ones are definitely not something. But the prices on these were very, very reasonable given all the stuff that comes with it. You can definitely get these at a very reasonable price. So they're definitely not trying to rip people off to make money on these, which I think is fantastic. But yet again, a bit of a miss that they're not being sold in dentist. It would have been really cool to see that. So if you like this information, I've got a link down below to buy me a coffee. It's just a little shout out for the channel if you like the content that's been created and the information that's provided. And if you're not yet subscribed to Dan the Collecting Man, as you can see, I like to try and educate people on coin collecting and what are the pros and cons and what are some of the things to look out for. Make sure you do give us a thumbs up, and always like reading the messages down below. So if you've got any cool information that you want to share with the coin collecting community, make sure you chuck that in the messages below. And as always, thanks so much for watching and joining the coin collecting community. I'll catch you in my next video. Dan.